Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Banao Bharat's Trading for Living Monday live session, 4th of September. Markets have closed and we have begun this settlement or the month of September on a very positive note. We can see here the signs of breakout was visible on Friday itself. After having closed at the lowest point around 19,250 on Thursday, that was last settlement, which was also a weekly and monthly settlement. Friday, that was 1st of September, we had one good up move and breakout was immediately available at 19,444. From there on Friday and also today, we have almost traveled near to 180 points, which is a good sign, and it has also touched recent high of 19,600, which has been seen as one of the very important resistance level by many of the technical analysts. But according to me, we have already got the breakout at 19,444 itself, and so 19,600 now doesn't matter. It doesn't anymore act as the resistance for the coming month or for this settlement. So that is with respect to the Nifty. We are cruising well for 2 days, and not only that, we are seeing many breakouts, which is breakout across all time frames in many of the commodity stocks. It could be steel sector, it could be aluminium. So we are seeing breakouts in Tata Steel, SAIL, Hindalco, Coal India, NMDC. These are some of the stocks which have been languishing for many months and years, which have now started moving with giving breakout across all time frames. Whenever a stock gives breakout across all time frames, you should definitely be long on that stock and definitely avoid shorting or even to identify any shorting levels. Even if you get any shorting levels at a smaller time frames, maybe in intraday or ET and DT, which is enter today and exit tomorrow time frames, you should be doing the short trades in any of these commodity stocks which have given multi time frame breakouts. You should be extremely cautious and stick to a very rigid stop loss. But on the long side, you can comfortably buy for a little reasonable time frame and sit and see good movement in all of these stocks. So because there are many stocks which are giving fresh breakouts and multi-time breakouts, there is all the more reason to think this time the Nifty's breakout will sustain, and if any resistance is there at 19,600, that also will be taken out. So that is with respect to Nifty. We have got a breakout at 19,444 itself, and so 19,600 resistance will no more be valid for our discussion. Coming to Bank Nifty, Bank Nifty is slightly on a different note. It is starting off with a in ranger format, and this settlement it opens at around 44,061 and has today made a high of 44,885. so we need to there is a resistance at 45,009, which is even in Bank Nifty many people are watching 45,000 resistance. For us also, on the weekly time frame or on the settlement chart which we watch for the weekly settlements, there is a resistance for this particular settlement at 45,000, and we may see some turbulence at those levels, but until then there is some amount of upward bias even in Bank Nifty. So at least on intraday time frames there is bullishness visible in Bank Nifty also, but on the 2 hours time frame, the one which we are watching for the settlement, which is on Thursday, there is a small resistance at 45,000, and there might be some amount of turbulence at that level, but that might also get negated very soon if Nifty ferociously runs ahead and takes along with that the Bank Nifty index also. So for now, both Nifty and Bank Nifty are actually trading well on the upside. The whole of September has begun on a positive note, unlike the whole of August, wherein we saw a critical low on August 3rd, and after August 3rd until August 31st, most of the days we were trading around the lows and we were not getting sufficient or convincing breakdown, and also there was no sufficient or reasonable pullback also whole of August. But September looks very different. The 1 month of consolidation looks to be over, and we have got an early breakout for September, and we are hopeful that this month is going to be a good green candle. And for the investors who are on the longer time frame, definitely they will once again start seeing new all-time highs in their counters, and Nifty also may travel much ahead. How far it will go, we don't know, because we are not here to set the targets, but we are following the trend. What the market does is anybody's guess, but based on the past price action, we can only say the direction is either upwards or downwards, and take a probability of entering long or short based on the past data. Having said that, we generally stick only to the stop losses and not to the targets, because nobody can clearly define the targets. No matter how good the target is, if the ferocious trend is there, then it will overshoot the targets, and that trend we don't want to miss. We want to be purely trend followers, wherein just allow the trend to conclude and say the trend is concluded. Until then, we would remain in the same direction of the trend, either long or short. The very reason we work only in F&O segment is because we can take trend trades on the short side as well as on the long side. But when it comes to investments, we have to stick to only long only policy, and investments can work, or trend following can work well only during a bull market. But when there is a bear market, or when there is intermediate downtrends in the larger bull markets, then trend following will not be, we cannot deploy trend following strategies on the cash segment. So we want to harness the price movement either on the upside or on the downside, and the only mechanism that we have got is to be in the F&O segment, wherein the stocks, about 150-160 stocks are there in F&O, and we just want to be viewing them or studying them and understand the trends in those stocks and participate in the uptrend as well as in the downtrend. So that is with respect to the beginning of September. On the whole, the conclusion is September starts off on a positive note, on a good war footing, and there is already a breakout in Nifty, and of course there is a small resistance for Bank Nifty at 45,000, wherein some amount of disturbance might happen for a couple of days around 45,000. But then I think eventually even Bank Nifty will start following the Nifty trend, and it might start going much higher. So that's it for now. Once again, we will meet tomorrow morning with a fresh perspective on the market, especially on the intraday time frame. And until then, just study some of the commodity stocks. There is some action developing in all of the commodity stocks, so there could be more of commodity play in the coming days. Let us meet once again tomorrow morning. Until then, Om Swasti.